The way we use timers in JMeter is to introduce an intentional delay or wait before an execution takes place. The reason we do that is we want to have realism in our test, right? So when a user goes to our website, he's not doing click, 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 click at every second, correct? Probably he will click on some button, read something, then if he gets a form, he will need to complete that form, and then finally click again the submit button. So the timers let us introduce some realism by adding time. And we can add a fixed amount of time with, for example, the constant timer, or we can add a random time within a range. And one example for this is the uniform random timer. Now, before running an example on JMeter with these two timers, there are two very important points to understand. The first one is that the timers are executed before the sampler execution. So the wait time defined in the timer will be executed before the sampler. If you need to insert a delay after a sampler, then you can use another element, which is called the test action sampler. And we will see that element in another video. The second point to remember is that when running the test, the timer execution time is not added to the sampler execution time in the reports. Let's move into our JMeter script. In our script, we have a thread group, and inside that thread group, we have two dummy samplers. The first one will simulate a sampler to the homepage and then to view a particular product. So we would like to have a wait time between these two requests. If we open the dummy sampler homepage, I added a constant timer. How I did this? I click on the sampler, add timer, constant timer. Now, in this timer, I defined that I will have a wait of 3000 milliseconds. Okay? And this wait time will be executed before the homepage request. Then for the second dummy sampler, I have another timer with a thread delay of 5000 milliseconds. Now let's run this test and see what happened. Before the homepage request, we should have a wait of 3 seconds. On the top, we can see the time. Okay, so after 3 seconds, we obtained the first sampler, and after 5 seconds, we obtained the second sampler. So these timers were created under each particular sampler. Now, what happened if I add a timer for the complete thread group? So I will delete these two timers. And now I will add the timer to the thread group. So the timer will be applied to all the samplers inside the thread group. So if we add a wait time of 5000 milliseconds, when I run the test again, I will have a wait time of 5 seconds before the homepage request, and then another wait time of 5 seconds before the view product request. Let's continue with the uniform random timer. Now I will add to my two samplers a timer which is the uniform random timer. What is the configuration for this timer? First, we need to indicate the constant delay offset, which is the same number that we use for the constant timer, right? So we said that we will have a wait time before the homepage request of 5 seconds. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, we want to introduce realism to our test. So probably not all the users will wait the same time before doing some actions, right? So we don't want the users to behave as robots, but to behave as real users. So we can add, instead of a fixed wait time, some uniform random timer. So I will say that the random delay maximum is going to be 1 second. And what does it mean? It means that the wait time before the homepage request will vary between 5 seconds and 6 seconds. So 6 seconds will be the maximum wait time.